And we are live from the heartland and coming to you straight from the heart. Jeffrey Daugherty in the heartland of America, bringing you this installment of Podcast Excellence from the Christian Whistleblower channel, home of the Unindoctrinator podcast. I did not spring forward. I apologize for that. Forgot to spring forward today. That's why we're here. And Ryan is feeling the wrath of DiGiorno. That will happen. At least you didn't see any little aliens come in your room and tell you stories. So there's always a positive to every negative. Mr. Dressel, nice to see you all here today. It's not your normal Sunday. We do our weekend review. We have some interesting stuff to talk about, and what a week this really was. Very interesting week in the political realms too. I know a lot of you don't follow it, but we did see a rather remarkable turnaround. It looked like for a while that Bernie was running away with the Democrat nomination. I mean, he was that close to running away with the whole thing, but what a difference a week makes. Now Bernie's pretty much dead in the water, and it's Sleepy Joe. And you've got to understand what goes on in those situations. Bernie is a guy they like to have around, but he is not a guy they'd like to have in charge. And here's why. They like Bernie to have Bernie around because he has a very energetic base. The Bernie bros and the Bernie hoes, they're very loud. Everybody loves a loud hoe. They're very loud. They're very enthusiastic. And who else are they going to vote for? They come in and they vote for Bernie. So they help drive Democrat turnout. They help bring energy to the party. So they like to have the Bernie bros and the Bernie hoes around. But they don't want the Bernie bros and the Bernie hoes running the show. Hell no, because they're communists. I know they say they're socialists, but a socialist is just someone that's afraid to say communist. They're really communists. And they don't want the communists anymore than anybody else wants the communists, because the first rule of a bureaucracy is to protect the bureaucracy. So what's the real problem with having Bernie hoes and Bernie bros running the show? Well, the problem is, number one, the bureaucracy gets broken up. Nobody knows what's going to happen if Comrade Bernie takes over. Nobody really knows, and they are trying to protect the bureaucracy. But what they really don't want to have happen is we got a weird system in the United States. You got the White House, you got the Congress, you got the Senate, and then sitting over here is the Supreme Court. But basically, White House, Congress, Senate. Right now, you got President Trump in the White House, you got the Senate barely in Republican control, and you got Nancy the Ripper firmly in charge of the House of Representatives. If Bernie was nominated as the Democratic nominee, mainline Democrats would not like that. Bernie probably would have a better chance in a general election than Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe, but they wouldn't like the Democrats because they know Bernie can't win. And the problem with Bernie isn't just that he can't win, but if Bernie's the nominee, the mainline normal, quote unquote, Democrats stay home. And what happens when the mainline Democrat voters stay home? I just saw an article yesterday. Republican enthusiasm to go vote has never been higher. The Republicans are going to have a huge turnout for President Trump. You combine a huge turnout for President Trump and Bernie Sanders as the nominee and Democrats staying home. And what do you got? You got Trump in the White House. You got a firmly controlled Republican Senate, and you get a Republican House of Representatives. That is Trump to the third power. That's really, 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 really bad news, not only for the Democrats, but for the deep state. And you've got to remember, folks, I know a lot of us, we tend to lean towards the conservative side on this channel, and we tend to think that the deep state's just the Democrats. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't make that mistake. There are deep state Republicans big time. There's a deep, dark right, and there's a deep, dark left. And neither one of those sides of the dark state want Trump to be in charge of the White House and the Senate and the Congress, because that means he really gets some swamp draining done. So it was fun to have Bernie around. He brings some energy. They're going to try to keep him around, but something tells me the hoes and bros, they're going to say hell no, and they're going to get up and they're going to walk out of that convention, and it's going to be fun to watch. But what you saw was the Democrat Party saying, oh crap. What you saw was the deep state saying, oh crap, we can't have Sanders, because if we have Sanders as nominee, then we've got Donald Trump cubed, and you can't have that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cousins of all ages. So a little bit of this about that stuff in politics. And by the way, I have been an invited delegate to the Republican National Convention. I have run a state for a national presidential candidate. So know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Kamala Harris endorsed Biden today. Much talk that she will be the vice presidential nominee, not because she's any good, but because she's black and she's a woman. And the Democrats don't want to go into an election with two old white guys on the ticket, one old white guy and one black and one woman. It's like having 3 in 1. Boom, it's a Democrat dream ticket. But the question is, it's going to be so much fun. Can Crazy Joe make it all the way through an election? Can Creepy Joe make it all the way through an election without groping some children? Can Creepy Joe, can Sleepy Joe do it? I don't know if he can. I'm going to be frank with you. I don't know if he can go from now till November without trying to put his tongue in somebody's ear or without putting his foot in his own mouth. And not only that, she's Jesse Smollett's auntie. You can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make this shit up. I don't know what they're thinking, but can you imagine how bad things are in the Democrat Party when the best they got is Sleepy, Creepy Joe? Wow. But I must warn you, I must caution you. About a year ago this time, there were far left commentators like myself celebrating. These idiots are nominating Trump. It's Donald Trump. If we can't beat Donald Trump, we need another country. We're going to win. Come out and vote. They got Donald Trump. We can beat Donald Trump. Just like we're saying, they got Bernie. They got Joe. So what happens is they got overconfident. We've got to make sure we don't. We need 4 more years of the mainstream media being decimated, destroyed, so we can grow the alternative media. And we need 4 more years of no forced vaccination. So that's the end of my Trump 2020 MAGA Keep America Great stump speech. But we had an interesting week. I'm going to show you this. This is really interesting. I got this from Guinevere, and her name really is Guinevere. And she works for Fluffy. And Fluffy Focus Life Force Energy is one of our main sponsors. And they've done something really, really cool. But my brands aren't working. There we go. They did something really, really cool. And I want to share it with you because some of you, even though you don't want to, even though you try to fight against it, you're still worried about the Zika or the mad cow or the PMS or the swine or the bird or whatever they're calling it this time. Give Corona the bird. You're still worried about it. And I understand you're still worried about it, but Focus Life Force Energy, if you're still worried about it, you shouldn't be. But if you're still worried about it, I just want to let you know that there is something new from the folks at Focus Life Force Energy, and this is included in your free trial of 30 days. Another new product upgrade, and it's free. And they've already energized the nutrients that you eat through the Focus Life Force Energy service. Now they have included an immune system boost, an immune system upgrade. Now you're getting the frequency of calcium, copper, iron, manganese, your omega-3s, sodium, sulfur, vitamin B12, super duper vitamin C's from all the way from well, there's no A, but all the way to zinc, from C to zinc. They should have put something A in there just so I could have said from A to Z. But that's new from Focus Life Force Energy. So if you want to go to jeffreydaugherty.com and click on the fluffy logo, you get 30 days free. You don't even have to list a credit card. And whether it's Corona, Zika, whatever, the reason why I don't get sick and the reason why people that don't get sick is because they have a strong immune system. And that's what this is all about, getting and keeping your immune system strong. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cousins of all ages. And I tell you what, it's pretty impressive. Sometimes I'm impressed by me. When I look, we do the weekend review, and we've got all of these videos that we did in 1 week. We work hard because we work passionately, folks. I don't remember what we talked about last Sunday. I really don't. But I know that on Monday, we talked about me going on the Power Hour radio program, which is a great show. I'm glad to be on it. Calling that Mayor Pete would quit and would endorse Joe Biden. I said that on Monday before Super Tuesday, and I called it. And every now and then when you make a prediction, I don't always make predictions, but when I do, they're always right. So it's nice to wag my own tail a little bit. And then we went on the air and tried to calm the fears on Monday again. We talked about emergency good news, that the supply chain in China has been restored. Apple at full capacity. We talked about the Dow rallying for a surge like it's never had before. And we talked about, we crowed a little bit again about Mayor Pete. So, folks, you've got to understand, I know there's a lot of people telling you to get really worried. Don't get really worried. Because if you get worried, you get stressed. If you get stressed, you get sick. They're trying to get you sick. It's not anything to worry about. Get your immune system beefed up. Don't hoard. There's no reason to hoard. If the supply chain is restored fully in China, that's where the stuff comes from. You might get a little bitty delay. Don't worry. I was in, where was I yesterday? Home freaking Depot. Pack stores. I was in a grocery store, pack shelves. Don't buy it. And we're here in the heartland. If they've got stuff stocked up in flyover country, they're going to have stuff on the coast where you still have hopes and dreams. It'll be okay. Don't worry. And then we went into something that I thought was fascinating. And we're going to jump into the chat room and get your comments on those things that we talked about so far. We talked about principalities, powers, rulers of darkness. The super scary Christian verse that says we fight against all these creepy crawlies that we can't possibly understand, that they're way beyond us, that they're all over the place. They're from different planets, different universes. And we saw that the words mean that most everything we're fighting is contained within this atmosphere of the earth. We're not fighting against things that we can't understand. We're not fighting against things that are beyond us. And the only non-corporeal, non-physical things we're fighting are probably in the form of tulpa. And we talked about what a tulpa was. That should make you feel a lot better. That should make you feel a lot more empowered. So let's roll out some questions, if you have them, about politics, about the virus, the supply chain, and questions about the principalities, the powers, the rulers of darkness, and anything else that you might have questions about. And I must confess that I'm working on trying to get over procrastination. And I do have a few rod orders that have lagged. I know, you know what? I was about to take responsibility. I was about to say it was me, and I just didn't, I put it off. But why allow a good I'll do like everybody else. The reason that your rods have been slowed down is because of the Zika. It was the Zika that did it. It was the mad cow. It was the PMS. It wasn't any of that, ladies and gentlemen. It was me being a procrastinator, and I am going to fix that today, not tomorrow, but I will have all of your rods shipped tomorrow. And it's only, I think it's 5 or 6 people, but still, if you're one of the 5 or 6, it's a big deal. So because of the Zika, because of the supply chain, because of Donald Trump, it's their fault. But I've talked to them I've scolded them, and they will get it right. And I'll get your odds out in the mail to you on Monday. And I apologize. We all know whose fault it really is. So let's go to the chat room and see what we've got going on in the most intelligent chat room on YouTube, without a doubt. Did everyone change their clocks? Well, not everyone, Nancy. That's why we're coming to you at 10 o'clock instead of our normal 9 o'clock. So we didn't get the spring forward memo. We don't watch TV. We don't listen to the radio. So, Arizona doesn't do it. You're right, Cynthia, as usual. Tiffany G is here saying hello. Hi, Tiffany G. Let's see. Mother of Dragons is here. I'm brother to dragons, as Job said we all are. So nice to see you, folks. Good morning, says Ryan, even though he's suffering from the revenge of DiGiorno's. Can't eat that stuff late at night, bro. After 6, don't eat those carbs. Not after 6. Don't eat those carbs. Till Biden's firewall. Joe Biden, I don't know if he can make it. I really don't know if he can make it through an entire election cycle. What's this thing? Political puppet theater. Joe Biden literally has dementia. If you watch the guy, it's hard to argue with that. If you watch the guy, it's hard to argue that he's got dementia. The other day, he said it was Thursday when it was Tuesday, and it wasn't just any Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. It was Super Tuesday, and he forgot. His whole campaign has been focused on Super Tuesday, and he forgot that it was Tuesday, thought it was Thursday. And that was right before he announced, or just after he announced that, please, he wanted your vote for the United States Senate. He hasn't run for Senate in 40 years. And then he grabbed his sister's hand and said, this is my wife. Oh, no, this is my sister. This one's my wife, which is really it's got a high creepy value when you think about it. How many other times has he been with his sister thinking it was his wife? I'm just asking the questions here, ladies and gentlemen. Just trying to get to the bottom of the big stories. And that would be a really big story right there, ladies and gentlemen. That would be a really big story. Let's see. AOC will become a millionaire before she leaves office. Of course she will. And that's the only way that losers like her can do it. But she's got a strong opposition coming up. So we may be able to get rid of her after just one season of foolishness. Cynthia agrees that Joe does have dementia. If he's even still a dude, I mean, wow. He might be a robot. And I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble, which I hardly ever do, ladies and gentlemen. Why do black folks like Joe Biden so much? Now, the black folks I know aren't stupid. But most of the black folks I know, most black folks must not be like the black folks I know. Because black folks I know would not vote for Joe Biden. But Joe Biden has got more blacks on his side than a plantation owner during the Civil War. That's all I'm saying. Figure that out. It's weird. Why? Because he was Barack Obama's vice president? Hell, Barack was only half white and full queer. J Money Christmas. Did I really say that on Sunday morning? I'm sorry. And I really am a little bit sorry. I'm trying to be the nicer, kinder Jeff, but it doesn't work. Tracy Dyer is in the house. We have Democrats come out and vote for Trump as well. Yes, we will. In places like Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, Michigan, the industrial Midwest, where they're actually having jobs come back, South Carolina, where they're actually having textile jobs come back. There'll definitely be a Trump, definitely be Trump Democrats. There were last time. There are more this time. And I'm telling you, folks, if we just don't listen to these brain dead idiots that tell us that voting doesn't matter, if we just tune them out, go vote, Take somebody to lunch, make it a fun party, go vote. We'll be all right. We'll have 4 more years to grow the alternative media into a behemoth that even when Donald Trump is gone, the mainstream media won't be able to come back on us. So 20% of Trump rallies have been Democrats. That means that 20% of the Democratic base likes Donald Trump. I mean, look at the difference. Have you watched any of the Democrat debates? Have you watched any of the Democrat town halls? It is like, where do these people live? Everything's horrible. People are dying. It's the worst. It's like the set of The Walking Dead. And then you turn on a Trump rally, and there's 12 people at the Democrat town hall, and there's 50,000 at the Trump rally, and they're happy. They're optimistic. They're joyful. Black people, Mexican people, white people enjoying themselves. Happy, hopeful. Wow, it's a very, very stark difference. And it really is the difference between the America they want and the America we got. So let's do what we need to do to give us 4 more years of opportunity to keep this thing going, ladies and gentlemen, to keep this thing going, to keep the mainstream media being defeated and allow the alternative media to grow and to flourish. That's what it's about. Another tax cut. Well, they cut the rates almost to zero. I think President Trump has done about all he can tax cut wise responsibly. Now, there's different types of taxes that can be cut and regulations that can be cut, but I wouldn't look for a major tax cut initiative, anything new and huge soon. Let's see. Come on, dude, get off the plantation. Exactly. Get off the plantation, folks. Get off the plantation. Javanka loves her Fluffy. Kat loves her Fluffy. Perfect. Kat's got blue hair now. That's cool. I like it. Let's see. It was an amazing week. What else we got? Cynthia's back saying that she loves emergency good news. Me too. Don't be stupid, says Dyer. We don't even know people are actually dying from this virus. Do you know that more people have choked to death on their food this year than have died of the coronavirus? It's a fact. Get used to it. They were already offline in China for Chinese New Year. Don't freak out. Yeah, they just had a little extra Chinese New Year this year. Don't freak out. Just remember, it is time for a correction in the market, and that's probably true. See, there's a difference between saying, the market is really inflated. There's probably going to be a correction up to 20%, we're told. You could have an up to 20% correction. But how much higher is the market now than when Obama was in charge? Significantly more than 20%. So even if we have a 20% correction, we're still way ahead of where we were. So there will be some correction, but it doesn't mean it's the Zika. It doesn't mean the sky is falling. It means the market is correcting itself. And Tracy says we got some fear porn addicts here today. Yeah, it's hard to get away from the fear porn addicts. They seem to be everywhere. What does this say? It's an economist illness. I'm not sure what that means, but I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you taking the time to comment. Jeffrey, could you review sometime your podcast with Jay about David Icke? Could I review sometime your podcast with Jay about David Icke? Yeah, I could do that. I could probably do that. It was a really good podcast, and we did have a lot of good information there. Be prepared, not scared. Coronas versus us. Ooh, that's a good one. Many of the Democrats are Israeli citizens too. That's a good point. What else did we talk about this week? We also talked about probing the ET hypothesis. I like what I did with that. Probing, like butt probing the ET hypothesis, and just looking at it and saying, we're not saying that there's no extraterrestrials. I'm saying I haven't seen any proof of there being extraterrestrials. And if you point a gun at me and make me say, do I believe that there's extraterrestrials or not? I'm going to say no. I don't think there's extraterrestrials. Why? Because I haven't seen any proof. And they've been looking high, they've been looking low for 70 years to try to find some proof of extraterrestrials, and we don't have as much as an ET toenail. So no, I don't think there's any extraterrestrials, but there might be extraterrestrials. It's definitely within the realm of possibility that there would be extraterrestrials. So I'm not saying there's not any extraterrestrials. I don't know how to get this message off the screen. I'll put another one up and then take it down. Thank you, Kentez Burks. Republican Party was created by blacks to defend lynchings. That's an interesting take. I have to study that. Very interesting take. So we do see things in the sky. We do have people believing that they're being abducted. We do have activity by beings that may or may not be us. And it makes no sense to assume that they're from somewhere else. And there's an agenda that's driving us to think they're from somewhere else. The mainstream media is telling us they're from somewhere else. Hollywood is telling us they're from somewhere else. TV is telling us they're from somewhere else. And how smart do you have to be to recognize that when the mainstream media in the Hollywood complex is telling you something, you might want to consider that it's not real and that it is not true. Just my 2 cents worth, ladies and gentlemen. Just my 2 cents worth. Let's see if we got anything about that. We got people actually like the fear and nonsense for some reason. Well, no despair bear, believe it or not, there's actually a medical reason. And fear produces biochemically a very similar reaction to joy. I know it's weird, doesn't make a lot of sense, but you can actually be hooked on fear because you're hooked on the endorphins and the adrenaline that dump into your system when you're frightened. And it's a lot harder to find good news, to make you happy, to make you optimistic, to have those same chemicals dumped into your system, especially if you're on YouTube with all these fear porners. We got fear porn pimps, and it's easy to be a fear porn whore when there's nothing but fear porn pimps around and you need a fix. That's one of the reasons why you've got to be more discerning. You've got to be more demanding. I guarantee you stop watching fear porn and it will go away because it's only there to get paid. It's only there to get famous. And if nobody's watching, you can't get either one. Like Plume Serpent says, many are addicted to the fear. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Corona goes nice with a curry. It does. I could see that. I'm not a Corona drinker, but I can see that. I can see that. Ultra terrestrials, crypto terrestrials, intraterrestrials is what I would go with because I don't think they're from out there. I think they're from right here. ETs have no home. I like that one. I just want to know what's really going on that they don't want us to know about. I'm so sick of the virus hype. People are getting really stupid. The main thing that the virus is hyping is to destroy and to try to harm Trump's prospects for re-election because they know they can't beat him. And they're trying to crash the market because they think that might beat him. They're trying to get people all afraid because they think that might beat him. But it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Let's see. Jack thinks that the ETs are military technology. That's a really good possibility. It's a really good possibility. When you're looking at things in the sky, it makes much more sense to say, you know what? I bet that's our government. I bet that is some rogue paramilitary project than to say, I'll bet they're from Uranus. It just makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. It's logical. It's Occam's razor. Tracy Dyer agrees with Jack. And Delaney has multiple vids of fairies in her hallway. Multiple vids of fairies in her hallway. Cynthia says that she believes it too. I really wanted to make a fairy joke, but I just moved right past that. Oh, I like this. Delaney slaps fear whores and pimps right in the lips. I like it. I like it. Oh, this is funny. I have to put this up. This is so funny. John says, but Dr. Claudia Albers is hot. John, you are terrible. John, that is so wrong for you to say that. That's horrible. Horrible. But yet, oh, so funny. Pisces 69, nice to see you. Aliens, then asteroids. You don't want to be probed by either one. You don't want to be probed by either one. What did this one say? Long Jefferson Franklin, first black Republican, 36 to 1901. Excellent. Mr. Acklewill, $2 makes me want to holla. Thank you. The clown episode shook things up. We'll get to that one. You got Klingons near Uranus. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that, ladies and gentlemen. And what else did we talk about? We talked about the first truthers. That was some interesting stuff. Remember? Fantastic Adventures, Ray Palmer, Richard Shaver, the first truthers. It was some good stuff. It was some cool stuff. Talking about those people, talking about UFOs 20 years before Roswell. And what did they say about those UFOs? They said that those UFOs were all from under the ground. All from under the ground. Michael says that Joe Biden proves that aliens exist. That's funny. That's funny. Nobody wants that. A lot of props for the clown episode. So we talked about the first truthers. We had, what'd you guys think about Dustin from The Rocket? We had the Rocket guy on talking about acoustic wave therapy. What did you guys think about Dustin? I found him to be credible. I found him to be a nice guy. And the rocket technology is fighting back against, ladies and gentlemen, male infertility, fighting for male virility. All the men in this chat are for that. And most of the women are for that, because I don't think we got any. We might have straight up lesbians, but I think most of our girls would tend to be bisexual if they were of an alternative lifestyle. I just can't see us having straight out. Maybe we do, but I think the number's small. So I think everybody here is on, at least partially on Team D. I'm just guessing. Of the female persuasion and of the male persuasion, well, we all got one and we want it to be healthy and happy. Nancy says, change your Sunday morning show to Week in Review. Can't do it, Nancy. It's been not your normal Sunday for so long. I couldn't bear to change it. It'll be like changing the name of my son. I'm kind of partial to Joshua. Two Trees says the rocket stage was excellent. Thank you. I thought it was good too. David says it was good info. Research event 2001, a training drill, Gates, pandemic, they ran a simulation. Good point, Nathan. Good point. There's always these simulations before they try to roll out a false flag. Let's see. Straight with the body parts. No confusion here. I try to keep things clear if I can. And Mary says, no, never change the name. I don't think I could. I'd change Cynthia's name first, and we both know that's not going to happen. So we talked about the acoustic wave therapy and the rocket. The rocket was actually slowed down by Chinese New Year. And it's funny. You got guys like Dustin and Justin and all the guys that work there. Dustin's wife, super smart lady, runs the business with them. And you're putting together this business. You're putting this thing all together. You're doing everything you can. You plan your rollout. And you still forget it's Chinese New Year. It's weird because you forget about Chinese New Year. And dude, they don't watch a ball drop and drink some champagne and eat a DiGiorno. Americans lose 1, maybe 2 days over New Year because we're drunk and hungover. Not me, because I don't take those substances. Chinese New Year, that's like 14 days. So they really shut stuff down. And do you think, ladies and gentlemen, it's a coincidence that supposedly the virus hit during Chinese New Year? Do you think that's a coincidence No, it's not a coincidence. How long is Chinese New Year? How long is Chinese New Year? New Year. How long is Chinese New Year? 15 days long. Chinese New Year. And you're going to have a slowdown in the supply chain anyway because they tend to take 15 days off. Things are going to thin out. Supply is going to thin out a little bit anyway because they just took 15 days off. So let's launch the virus before we know there's going to be a slowdown. Then we can blame the slowdown on the virus and get everybody all upset. Very, very well planned. You have to say that. Very, very well planned. Just the truth. You do just tell the truth. Just the Truth says that we're the best in the West. Les champions. Continue our work. We feel less alone. And, that's probably why I come on this channel as much as I do, because it does make you feel less alone. It's so nice to know that you're not the only one. It's so nice to know you're not the only one. Tracy's laughing at us, but that's okay. We're used to be laughed at. It is a test for sure. FEMA going to be tied with child trafficking. Look at their camps. Ooh, that's an interesting comment. The Tesla Twain connection. I'm not sure about the Tesla Twain connection. Are you talking about Mark Twain and Tesla? I've never heard that, but I'm writing it down. Tesla Twain connection. They party for a month, says Cynthia. Wow, that's a good time in China. A real good time. No coincidence, says Tracy. Of course, it's not a coincidence. Let's see. Kirsten did make it. We were missing you, Kirsten. We wondered where you were. Everybody was asking. We were hoping you didn't catch the Zika. Does the rocket sponsor Trey Smith Bible in a nutshell? I hope not. I hope not. I know Joe Rogan. I know Seth Greenberg. I don't think that Crazy Trey is one of the people that sponsors it. I really don't. It might be, but I don't think so. I really don't. And even if it does, hey, what are you going to do? You can't get it 100% right all the time. What else? I saw some good stuff flying through here, but it's really flying. So Dustin was legit, says Ordinary Bear. Karen Carpenter, Biden mentioned the New World Order on TV the other day. Yeah, but he also mentioned he was running for Senate, Karen. Poor guy. I mean, if he wasn't such a joke and if he wasn't such a dirtbag, you'd almost feel sorry for him. But I just think he's getting what he deserves. And does that make me a bad guy? Let's see. We got a Bill Hessner. Thank you for the great super chat. And as soon as it comes along my screen over here, I will pull it up. Doesn't the Rocket sponsor? I don't know if they sponsor Trey Smith. I don't think they do. Oh, and what do we got over here? We got 2 trees, $14.99. Thank you. I appreciate it so very much. If I hit new comments, is that going to put me to the right spot? I don't know. Cynthia says thank you. Ryan says, are the Klingons near Uranus? Why did I start that? He did. The Senate. Yeah, he said he's running. Please, I can use your vote for U.S. Senate. For some reason, John would really like to pull Putin's finger. That's no doubt the weirdest comment that we've got this entire show. Please don't. It's Russian, and who knows what he's been eating, and it could be really, really stinky. I don't know if this is true. Maybe somebody out there can fact check it for me because I'm not going to do it right now. Is COVID really translated into Hebrew, Kobe? I doubt it, but that's interesting. Anyway, that's fun. That is fun. Ordinary Bear. How is Sing Along Bear doing? Oh my, now we have chatters dissing each other. I love it. Jermaine says COVID-19 is Kobe in Hebrew. Oh boy, nobody says you're lying, but I'm saying you might have just heard that somewhere and you're repeating it, or you might have studied it, but I don't know you, Phil. I don't know you. I don't know where you get your sources. And when I hear something, the first thing I say is it true? And the second thing I say is, can you prove it? So don't take it personally. Kim Jong-un, remember him? Gonna destroy the whole world. Art of the deal, baby. Art of the deal, baby. I still need to see your sources, Phil. Got to see your sources. Got to see your sources. I'm a first-time Christian chatter. Now I really got to see your sources because you believe the Bible. And I really doubt your judgment now. I really doubt your judgment now. What does Matthew want me to do? Matthew says, if you haven't yet. If I haven't what yet? What haven't I done yet? Phil freaks out on numbers. North Korea equals the no COVID-19. There's no COVID-19. I wonder if is that Mad Machina's own ass or is that somebody else's ass? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, but see, this is how stuff gets started. I heard it many places, and we love Karen. And Kobe was buried in Corona Del Mar. Show me the data. Show me the data. Yes, I doubt your judgment. That's the gist. Show me the data means I doubt everybody's judgment. You got to prove it. You got to show me the data. That's all I'm saying. And so does Jay Blaze. Check out Sam Tripoli podcast about the Kobe. Covito does translate to Kobe. Now you're starting to talk. Now, see, that's some data. If Homeboy Sam had it on, Homeboy Sam does his homework. And in a public service announcement this morning on Twitter, which I checked right before I went on air, Sam Tripoli from the Tinfoil Hat podcast wants to remind everyone that masturbation improves your immune system. So if you're worried about the Zika, you can take your own care into your own hands. But that's all I'm saying. Political puppet theater, I say nay. I'm not worried about the globalist agenda at all. We don't need to worry. I take exception with that. We don't need to worry. We need to be aware. And whenever you start talking about ram things down my throat, that does get me a little concerned. But I'm with you. Let Kobe rest. I don't think Kobe was a ritual tied to Corona, says Tracy. That solves it for me. I'm kidding. Data from Star Trek looks really bad in HD. Huh, that's interesting. I'll find it for you and send it to you, Jeff. Thank you. And not just from a website. I want Hebrew interlinear showing me that it means Kobe. That's proof, not that you saw it on somebody's website. Because you see a lot of crazy stuff on people's website. Delaney, that girl is just not right. But I love her. Cynthia, you may go blind, but she'll be healthy. But that's a really, really good one. I like this. Jermaine's being kind of funny. Kobe, definitely a ritual. Allegedly. Oh, God, that's funny stuff. Oh, Tracy does think it's a Corona ritual. Tracy, where's your data? Like David says, where's the beef, Dyer? Not a Hebrew source tied to the Bible. I'm not sure what that means. Like they try to tie NASA. Yeah, but because that's not real. That's a perfect. NASA means deception in Hebrew. No, it doesn't. And you can repeat it as much as you want. And I believe NASA's deceptive too. But NASA in Hebrew don't mean deception. Just saying, sorry, it doesn't. I'm not kidding. Fact check Sam Tripoli. Of course I will. I fact check everybody. Thanks for sharing, Jack. Hebrew National. Now we're talking ballpark francs. Let's see. NASA is definitely a Royal Dutch bloodline. Interesting. The symbolism of butterflies. This is so funny. There's a certain stupid channel that we're not going to name that supposedly enlightenment, supposedly trying to help you, supposedly not really Christian, but is Christian. And it's just supposed to be the most wonderful thing. And it's full of monarch, MK Ultra, 33 butterfly symbology right in your face. And you're too stupid to see it. I don't know if there's any hope for you. How many weeks are we going to have these? What happened to Wayne? It's been 6 weeks since Wayne hasn't been on the show. What happened to Wayne? Why don't you ask Wayne? Wayne's not here. I don't think anything happened to Wayne. Well, Wayne is not here. Wayne is not going to be here. Wayne still isn't here. What happened to Wayne? Ay. Tracy Dyer, laugh out loud. There's an old hotel fallout shelter covered in acid tiles 2 blocks from me. Ooh, interesting. Interesting here. Nathan Briscoe. The people already have been decentralized entire industries, including destroying mainstream news and entertainment, crypto to subvert the banking system. Things have never been better. The people are already and have decentralized entire industries, destroyed mainstream news, entertainment, crypto. I think that's a good, I know how hard it is to type, but I think that's a good one. And I think I agree with it. If I'm understanding where you're coming from. You're telling me to relax when he hadn't been here for 6 weeks and you're still asking the same stupid question because you're trying to stir something up? Ask Wayne. He's in Wayne's world. I was going to say that, Christy Belly. Well done. Why are all the presidents related? They're not all related, but a lot of them are related. And that's an interesting question. Yeah, isn't that too bad that quarantine hotel in China collapsed? Yeah, that makes you wonder. We also talked about Occam's razor and the heliocentric model. Jeff, are you a flat earther? No, but I am questioning the heliocentric model. I was just talking about this with Cynthia last night at dinner. We had some pho, and it was some good stuff. We had some pho, brah. And I said to her, you know what? This might be a great time to travel because everybody's lowering their rates because everybody's afraid. And we know we don't have to be afraid, so we could get some really good deals. But I hate to fly anyway. I don't like it. So they're going to have to really drop some rates to get my ass on an airplane. I like it. And this is good. I like Ryan. I like the way Ryan's thinking. I heard the COVID thing, but it's coming from deep Christian sources. And you got to be careful. If they can't figure out that the Bible is a joke, then how the hell are they going to figure deep stuff that you only have to think about? That's all I'm saying. Oh, that's where that tidbit came from? Oh, that tidbit came from that guy. Okay, yeah, Sam, Sam's out there to put out a show, not necessarily to check everybody that comes in there. Tracy, would you please ban this person right here from the channel forever? Just for being generally stupid. That's just stupid. And what if I was? Who would care? See, this is children. This is people that just a special kind of stupid. Please ban her. Delaney just brings it right down. If you want to talk to Wayne, get your ass in his channel and ask him. Love you, Delaney. Love you. How about this? Jay Blaze going to Washington State in 2 weeks. $350 round trip. That sounds like it might be a good deal, depending on where you're coming from. Check it out, Mary Foe, with some good stuff. I'm telling you, it really is. South Padre Island, badass beachfront rates. Speaking of badasses. But anyway, let's see. Christy also questions the Sun Center model. We don't want to listen to this guy. This Larry Gathers guy. He's gathering a bunch of bullshit. Let's see. Jeff, do you pray or talk to a god, gods, or gods? Why would I pray? Why would I pray? Pray means that I lack the resources, so I got to go to somebody else. Why would I pray? P-R-E-Y, pray, pray. Why would I? I am divine, I am sovereign, I am free. I do not pray to a God. Now, there might be an occasion where I would talk to one, do a quid pro quo with one, could possibly happen. Or there might be other beings that identify as gods that want to help us knock off this lousy one that's been running the show. So, no, I don't pray to gods, never will. But I might talk to one if this situation represented itself and it came to be. This is good right here. Karen was a science teacher, and one of the most frustrating things is knowing that we don't have the truth about much. Ooh, I like it. Electric crystals is all for those buns that were up there. Let's see. 2 round trips to Vegas. A round trip to Vegas from Portland, a hundo. That's a good one. North Carolina to Washington State, 350 round trip. That's pretty good, bro. That's pretty good. Prayer is an invocation, and it's also it makes you get a virus. What's that called? Anyway, what else we got here? Jermaine says, I pray to a God. Me. Boom. It's pronounced fa. It is. The divine does not need worship. Anything real doesn't need worship, and anything real doesn't want your prayers. What do you think of Santos Bonacci? Not much. If Santos was talking on my front lawn, I wouldn't even open the blinds. I'm just saying. Are COVID and Kobe even actually English words to translate? Ooh, that's a good point. Good point, Dyer. Good point, Dyer. Good point, Michael. Andromeda 5. That's right, Cynthia. That's a very, very, very good thing to say I found in my life. And then we talked about the hidden language of Lemuria. That was cool. How many of you have been actually running that hidden language on stuff? I've been running on stuff, and wow. Oh, I like this. I like this guy. Even if God were real, I still wouldn't worship it. Boom. Me either. Kobe, where's the beef? Boom. Laugh out loud, Cynthia. I spent 10 years reteaching myself on so many topics. That's what we have to do. Karen, I'm sorry, but every time I see your name, I want to encourage you to have a sandwich. I know it gets old, but I'm a child. Is Kobe a city in China? I don't know. I thought Kobe beef came from Japan. But have you done the Mantong thing? Have you done the hidden language of Lemuria? It's under Mantong, hidden language of Lemuria. I show you the whole alphabet. And it's not phonetic. It's a whole word alphabet. It's a whole word alphabet. And then we did health, media, and the deep state. That was basically what we opened the show with today about why they're doing the whole media thing and why they're doing the whole virus thing. It's a deep state thing. What'd you think about Pierre Sabak? What did you think about Pierre Sabak? I thought it was an interesting show. Holographic culture, Pierre Sabak and Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Good stuff, I thought. Interesting stuff, I thought. And let's see, Jeff, our prayer conversation, that's truly revolutionary shit. Yeah, it is, bro. I'm with you. Cynthia loved the interview. Kirsten loved the interview. He was good. And what I liked about Pierre was, even though she has difficulty with the accent, Tracy is just so American. She doesn't like people with accents. I'm joking with her. I like about Pierre because he really believes that it's ETs. But when I said, could it be people from here, he goes like, yeah, it could be. See, he's a real researcher. He's got his mind open. Harry Christie says he's got great books. Pierre Sabak books. And I've got his 2 books. They are really, really good. Love has more power meaning in Mantong. Interesting. I like it. Holly said it was interesting. David said genuine person. John Price really dug the virus in Con Air. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, the Cyrus the virus. Yeah, I remember that. Jeff, what do you think about Zachary Hubbard? Meh. Kind of meh. I liked, I kind of interesting, but yeah, interesting. Let's see. N- Tracy Dyer has been there, done that. New light. Oh yeah, exactly. Meh. Tariel's having a lot of fun with the Mantong language and apparently with Snapchat as well. Let's see. It's okay, Jeff. Come on. It's Gematria Nostradamus? Well, then the hell with it. It's okay, Jeff. I've heard it a lot, and so many are distasteful. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't say that. Poor lady, but it's still every time I see the name, I want to say, sandwich. I'll get over it. I'm over it now. I'm over it now. That's an interesting point. I compare it to Nostradamus. I gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, and then we talked about Jesus as Roman clown. That was powerful stuff. If you haven't seen that video, you got to watch it. And I didn't do it just to piss Christians off. I did it to show you that the Roman Testament, aka the New Testament, clearly pictures the Jeebus character as a Roman clown. As a Roman clown. And there's no doubt about it. It shows him as a comedic clown. It shows him as a tragic clown. It shows him as the playing child figure. It shows him as the rustic hobo figure. He's a clown. Cynthia LOL'd through the entire video. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Stuck in the middle again. Don't you want to be in the middle? I don't know. I found that being in the middle can be enjoyable sometimes. That was epic. Thanks. I appreciate it. Excellent clown show. My wife loved that one. Excellent. Tracy loved the clown show. Boom. I know the elite know there's no biblical God and no repercussions. It's not a wonder they've been raping and pillaging the public for centuries. Yeah. I suppose the clown. Wow, they're flying. I suppose the clown show is kind of general. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm with you. All right, folks, we have come to the end of another Not Your Normal Sunday. Only one irritating question. Only one irritating question. Let me just see real quickly. It's been like, how long has it been since Wayne was on this? It's been like 2-3 months, hasn't it been? Gee, money Christmas. Anyway, folks, that was quite an image. Ronald McDonald on the cross. Yep. Clowns have hearts too. Oh my, that's hilarious. Oh my, that's hilarious. We do appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you. We are the last generation of real people. It's been a long time, a really long time. No doubt about it. Shut up, Nathan. Just shut up. Oh, just shut up. Did he go to clown college? I don't know. New Light B. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Zachary Hubbard is a truth seeker. I don't know. He kind of went. Do I really want to get into this? I'm meh on Zachary Hubbard, and I'm going to leave it right there. John Price would pull a clown's finger. Oh, you're a brave man, ladies and gentlemen. A brave man. All right, folks. We salute you for being here, seeking after truth. I feel you, Holly. We are the last generation of real people. How many clowns can you fit in a car? Clickbaiter. Yep, absolutely. Do you know why sharks won't eat clowns? Because they taste funny. Boom. There you go. For Tracy Dyer and all the other great moderators, for the lovely Cynthia, she says no, Jeff. Cynthia's like, no, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. And I won't. See, I'm learning to listen. I'm learning to listen. We appreciate you being here. Unindoctrinate yourself. You are divine. You are sovereign. You are free. There's no reason to pray to anything. Pierre was a great show. I'm not going to look anymore at the chat. We do appreciate you. Sunday's kind of down home day. We're all here checking things out, waiting for French toast, just having a good time. And we do appreciate you. Remember, you are divine, you are sovereign, you are free. You don't have original sin. You got the spark of divinity within. And remember, folks, let's don't get overconfident. We are winning, but we got to keep doing the things that allow us to win. You can't get sloppy or you start getting beat again. We're in the world changing business. That business is a booming. Let's keep doing the things that we do to change the world from us outward, and we'll be fine. Like Mark Twain said, it's easy to fool somebody, hard to convince them they've been fooled. We got the hard thing, but we can do it. I salute you for being here seeking after truth. The world's not bad and getting worse. It's good and getting better, and we're here to make damn sure it does and to show people by getting better ourselves. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, in your debt and on the job to find you more information to help you unindoctrinate yourself.